Hi guys, so I'm back. I thought that now would be the perfect time to honour the divine feminine. So all of us, whether you're male or female, in fact everything in creation that exists in our physical reality, according to kind of yogic philosophy, has two polarities, and those two polarities basically represent the two ends of the spectrum in the world of duality, i.e. everything that we see. Space and time, they're the same thing essentially, and nothing can exist without kind of two different points of reference, and those two different points of reference are, one word for them is the masculine and the feminine. And it's really important to kind of balance both those polarities, to get kind of stability. Sometimes, things can fluctuate quite a lot, whether it's your emotions or whatever, your energy levels. And the more that things fluctuate, the more drama, the more kind of often hardships you can kind of, and difficulties you can kind of experience. So yeah, the more you strengthen your masculine and your feminine and get them into balance, the more kind of ease and grace you can kind of have in your life, I guess. So over the years, kind of the feminine has, especially I find in the West, growing up, as a British Asian person, I find it actually more oppressive in some ways. You're not really allowed to kind of really celebrate your femininity in the same kind of way. But I think that's changing now. But now is a time in the Hindu calendar anyway, where the feminine is actually celebrated, the divine feminine. So it's currently the last 3 days of a 9-day festival called Navaratri. It's probably the biggest festival in the Hindu calendar. The first 3 days, the second 3 days, and the third 3 days, block of 3 days, honour the three different aspects, major aspects of the feminine divinity. So the first 3 days represent a goddess called Goddess Durga, who is the goddess of courage and bravery and power, really. And the second 3 days celebrate the goddess Lakshmi, who's all about material abundance, spiritual abundance, and wealth and prosperity and love and beauty. The third 3 days celebrate the goddess of knowledge, Saraswati, who is also the goddess of the arts, of culture, of speech, of expression, and learning. And then actually there's the 10th day as well, which is called Vijayadashami, which is, according to legend, it's the day that the goddess Durga actually destroyed the demon of ignorance. And nobody could kill the demon of ignorance. So, the beings of earth and the spiritual beings basically went to the gods and said, help us. No one can destroy this demon of ignorance. Every time we tried to kill him, every time a drop of his blood touches the floor, 1,000 more of him spring up. So, every time you try and do anything to him, you make the problem worse. So what happened was they went to the 3 main gods, who were Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. And from their divine light, from their divine kind of radiance, Durga was made, and she's a warrior goddess, really, who is one of the most venerated in the Hindu tradition. And she went along and, riding along on her tiger, as you do, and killed the demon. So the 10th day is basically celebrated as this day. Durga is also, anyone who's familiar with yoga will know about the 3 qualities. I'll quickly tell you what they are. They are kind of ignorance and inertia, which is also called, which in yogic philosophy is called tamas. And then there's rajas, which is, it can kind of be called passion or activity. And the third is called sattva, which is truth or purity. It's also worth noting that Durga here represents tamas, overcoming tamas. Lakshmi represents Rajas and balancing Rajas, and Saraswati represents Sattva and getting kind of that truth and purity and that knowledge. And also what I wanted to say was, in Hinduism, we don't really have a good versus evil kind of, black and white, light versus dark kind of real view on things. It's much more kind of, there is a light and dark, there is a lot of that symbolism, but the darkness represents ignorance rather than evil. So it's not kind of them versus us, it's more kind of like, well, ignorance is something that we can all have, and once you overcome that with just the tiniest bit of light, the ignorance or knowledge, that ignorance can't really exist. So that's basically what Navaratri is all about. It's with the first 3 days, it's Durga overcoming the demon of ignorance, and it's actually spiritual awakening. That's what's kind of being celebrated. And it's really, really difficult, because you do need to, at the start, during your spiritual awakening, you need a tremendous amount of power, because it's very difficult to kind of to go through, and you do need that protection. You do need that kind of courage. So that's what Durga does. She helps you overcome your tamas, your inertia or your ignorance, and fight through and get through and really progress on your spiritual journey and your spiritual awakening, and stay on that path. And then after a while, you have certain needs. You need to go about your daily life. Maybe you have a partner and a family and parents and a job and all this other stuff that you need to do. You need to look after, responsibilities, and you need those to be looked after. So that's where Goddess Lakshmi comes in. Then she actually bestows you with all your physical necessities, so that you can not worry about those things. And also she bestows on you spiritual abundance, so that you can actually really, really progress on your journey in the most beneficial way. Because it's not just about like, oh yeah, I've awakened and now I'm enlightened. That's not how it goes. It's a constant journey where you're kind of going round and round and round and up and spiraling. You might think that you're not making any progress sometimes and going around in circles, but it doesn't really have to be like that. So she also bestows on you the right spiritual knowledge. And then after that, and spiritual kind of, I should say, situations to make it conducive to gain that knowledge. And then that's where Saraswati comes in, with the real kind of learning and the wisdom and the ability to express it as well, because she is the goddess of arts and expression. So you really, really, really gain that kind of higher appreciation of knowledge, of learning, of culture, of art, and of spirituality, which, if any of you are culture vultures out there, you'll know that that's a very, very, very refined and a wonderful way of being, when you can appreciate the arts and the culture and true kind of knowledge, and it's a whole different kind of passion. Then on the 10th day, it's a day of victory, because it's actually the day where you transcend all of these things. You actually transcend the 3 qualities as well of Rajas, Tamas, Rajas, and Sattva, because they are just all there to be experienced, but they're not the end of it. Like, there is a state beyond that, and there's a knowledge beyond that. So that's what it symbolizes. So yeah, that's my little explanation of this festival. Right now we're in the last 3 days, so but I thought that it would be nice, bearing in mind the background that I've just given you, to do a little process to honour the divine feminine in all of us, whether you're male, whether you're female, or whatever, just to kind of honour the side of us that's receptive to knowledge, that's nurturing, and that's that real kind of sense of almost like the mother that's within all of us, the thing that wants to receive love and really kind of care and hold everything, that kind of really supportive aspect of all of us, which is very, very feminine, basically. And also the arts, honouring kind of abundance, and honouring spiritual awakening, which are also in Hindu tradition considered to be very, very, very feminine aspects. So those are the things that we need to support for us within ourselves, and also radiate to the outer community. So that's the intent that we're going to have maybe for these 3 days. So spiritual awakening, spiritual unfoldment, and spiritual expression, really. And how are we going to do that? I thought it would be really, really nice if we could kind of really, really nurture ourselves for the next 3 days. So maybe we could make sure that we really take care of our health, get moving, do some exercise, whether that's yoga, whether that's going for a really nice walk and connecting with nature. Really kind of, especially on the first day, maybe we could really kind of concentrate on our connection with the earth and really, really ground ourselves. And then also maybe on the second day we can especially concentrate on really giving ourselves and those around us a lot of love and a lot of, you know, spread the beauty wherever we can, and do something nice for yourself. Even if it's buying something that maybe you don't need, but you kind of want, give yourself a little treat. And if you don't want to spend any money, another great thing to do is have a really, really, really nice bath. Really do your hair nicely. Do your makeup if you're female, or even male and you like wearing makeup, and really kind of, you know, do your nails. Make sure that you look really good. It's also customary to wear new clothes. If you can wear, at least if you don't want to buy new clothes, wear some really fresh, nice new clothes today, tomorrow, the day after, and the day after that. Really, really, really kind of make sure that you kind of be your best just for these 3 days. Be extra nice to your family. Spend some time with them, or any pets or friends that, you know, that are like family to you. Or, you know, if you've got to go to work, be extra positive and nice and appreciative, really. Not in a fake way, but in a really kind of real way. Just try and see the best in everyone and in every situation, just for the next 4 days. So 3 days for the end of Navaratri, and the Vijayadashami day as well. Really just try and see the best in people. And then another great thing is to just try and maintain yourself in the highest vibration. Listen to as many kind of really uplifting spiritual talks that you can. There are chants. For those of you who are familiar with yoga would know about the language Sanskrit, or anyone who's Hindu would know about the language Sanskrit, which is a really, really, really ancient language. It's the oldest language in the world that we know of. And it didn't have a written history for a very long time because it was purely spoken. So it's not the oldest written language in the world, which is either Tamil or Chinese, but it is the oldest language, the oldest spoken language that's still spoken in the world. And it's also the language that's closest to binary language, to computer code or whatever. And it's apparently, according to yogic philosophy, it's also the closest to telepathy, and it's absolutely wonderful. So it's a very ancient, essentially it's a very ancient light language, but it's more complicated than that because it's got its own grammar structure. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I'd love to learn it one day. But anyway, I digress. So that's kind of the background on Sanskrit. It's very important to pronounce it correctly. And for that reason, I would say if you want to listen to Sanskrit chants, which are absolutely magical, they're so powerful. You can get specific ones, and obviously there are a lot of mantras that are Sanskrit. Mantra is a Sanskrit word. Do try and listen to ones that are actually pronounced properly, and you know, they are powerful. So sometimes they can be quite detrimental, but there are certain chants that are really powerful that everyone can listen to, and I'm going to leave a couple of links in the description box below. The Lalithasahasranamam is a great thing to listen to right now, which is the 1000 names of goddess Lalitha. So that's a great thing to do. And I was also going to say, like, listen to any uplifting music, spiritual music that you can at this moment too. So really, let's just really honour ourselves for the next 3 or 4 days, and really nurture ourselves and try and really celebrate the feminine thing. So really try and support yourself, give yourself all the support, all the time, all the nurture that you need, and you know, refill that cup, you know, really refill that cup. Honor your spiritual kind of journey, and really make yourself look beautiful. Really try and be your best self over the next 4 days. Put in that extra effort. It will work. So, you know, make yourself really look good, get yourself moving. And of course, if you have yourself a spiritual practice, it's such a phenomenally powerful time to do it right now. Just because the energies, astrologically, every time this year, it really, really is very supportive for divine feminine energies. There really is a lot of energy raining down on us right now. So the more receptive you can be to that and the more aware, the better, really. And also bearing in mind, there's like a billion Hindus who are also celebrating this time, and they're all aware of it. So that's really adding to kind of the positive energy. And the more you know we can all tap into that, the better it is for everyone. Really, you really can make a difference. So please feel free to like, share, and comment on this video. Subscribe if you'd like. I really hope you found it to be helpful.